Hearties, welcome to Heart to Heart, our chat with the cast and crew of When Calls a Heart. I'm Chelsea Freitas from Puerto Rico, and I'm a special correspondent with the official Hearties Facebook group. And today I am joined by
Dawn Bateman, a moderator for the Facebook page, and I'm from Wiley, Texas.
And I'm Marg Stark, and I am a Facebook admin from San Diego, California.
Awesome. And we are so excited today to welcome the actor who has brought Lucas Bouchard to life in Hope Valley, Chris McNally. Thanks for being with us.
Hi, I'm Chris McNally.
Really?
From Vancouver, yes.
So surprising. So, you're in the 4th season of When Calls the Heart. That is kind of surprising. So, it was like a minute ago, we were welcoming you and Kevin with the Hearties family reunion.
It's true. I have gray hairs now. I don't know if you can see, but that's how much time has gone by.
Here, we'll make sure that
There you are.
4 years has gone incredibly fast. And,
I know.
It's too bad we haven't been able to have a Hearties reunion since that.
Yeah.
Wait, no, we did two. I think I was present for two, because I remember the first one, nobody knew who Kevin and I were, and the second one, folks did, and then
Yeah,
it's just
COVID.
been down since then. So hopefully
Yeah.
in the near future we can do something like that again.
Hopefully. We are really crossing our fingers for that one,
Yeah.
especially. So just like HFR, we asked for some questions about you, and the Hearties really from all over the globe submitted some questions. So we're just going to dig in. And so we have one question. Candy Rosser Adams from Cumberland, Maryland asks, what is one thing you wish everyone knew about Lucas?
So I have two answers for this, but the first one that came to mind is actually, I believe, going to be touched on in our next question. So I feel like I can't fully explain at the moment, but we'll get to it very, very shortly, because the question that I have, and it's a secret, and it's something that I'd like to know as well as everyone else, I'm sure. But putting that aside, moving to part two, I think Lucas's history with the French language, and how exactly he came to learn it, what city it was in. I feel like it was in my mind, it's always been New Orleans, and I know we've kind of explored a little bit of this character named Jeanette that goes all the way back from Lucas's first season when he came on.
Right, right, yeah.
Yeah, so they're friends and acquaintances from his days in New Orleans. And I'd love for that character to come to life at some point. I hope that's something that we can explore, and Hearties can put a face to the name, and I can put a face to the name.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think it's, I like that Lucas speaks French. I grew up in French immersion. I'm by no means fluent. I feel like I am, and then I go somewhere.
I was gonna say, you act like it. You act like
but the
it.
words are in front of me. But yeah, I did French. The majority of my classes were French from kindergarten until, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I haven't thought about this for a while, but I guess kindergarten to grade 7, everything was in French except when you were learning English. And then when you went to the high school, most subjects were still in French, but then you got to mix in with the English. What's that? I mean, we're all English students, but the folks that weren't in French immersion, and we would have music in English and whatnot. But for the most part, it's all French. But anyways, so that was a long time ago. Gray hairs again. I'm getting older. I try to speak French now. It just doesn't happen. I tried to order a couple glasses of water. I got to go to France right before the world shut down.
Oh wow!
Snuck a little trip in there, and didn't realize it would be the last trip for a while at the time. But anyway, I was like, oh, it's no problem. I speak French. Like, yeah, don't even worry about it. I'll be the reliable one. And it's funny how fast it leaves, and then it takes a while to come back. But by the time it comes back, you're on a plane home.
Sure. Yeah. Wow.
Anyway, I took over that question on me. It was about Lucas. Sorry.
Well, was French part of the original character description, or did they add that in once they knew your gift for French?
I think I think it was more of one of those questions I ask, like a light bulb goes up. Oh, this would be kind of neat if the character did. Hey, by the way, do you speak French? Oh, he does. Okay, great. So we'll go with it. Yeah, it's one of the rare times I say yes, because I'm asked all the time, can I sing? No. Can I play guitar? How about dance? It's always, please no.
I have a stereo.
Or what?
But I speak French.
That's right. That's right. They said you have a stereo, so you
Yes,
hear.
I listen. I don't omit. I just receive.
Perfect.
So I think building upon what you were suggesting, Deborah Ellis Suarez from Germantown, North Carolina wonders, as do many Hearties, where does Lucas live?
Yes. See, this is what I want to know too. So I think we should put together some kind of like some kind of poll or tally and just get votes in or suggestions, and wherever is either the most intriguing or just has the commanding majority. I think that's where Lucas should live, and I think that we should write it into season 10 if we're lucky enough to get a season 10. And I think we should film there because, as far as I know, he's homeless. He's got a nice car. That's about it.
He's got a great office, but
yeah,
presumably doesn't live there.
I feel like possibly he's got a spot in the upstairs of the saloon that he stays in, but I don't know. He strikes me as a man who would have a house, a nice. He has an appreciation for fine things, and so I imagine that would extend to a home. And unfortunately, we've just never gotten the chance to explore where that is. And so, it's a question for me too. Let me know where you think he should live.
Well, Sarah would be ready for the set decoration for that one.
Of course, they did such a great job on The Office.
Oh yeah, well, she told us that she talked to you about it as well. So interesting. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so Lynn Tapella, I know I'm butchering this name, Kirsting from St. Louis, Missouri, was one of several Hearties who were interested in hearing about Highland, how you bonded with him. It's clear you're going to have a number of scenes. Tell us how you forged that connection and maybe a favorite moment that you enjoyed with him, whether it was on camera or off.
Yeah, sure. I would say we forged a connection through Toots.
Boys will be boys.
Wow. Okay. Now we did hear that Peter DeLuise did bring Highland out with a lot of sort of potty humor. So is that what you're saying? Yeah. Potty humor is the key?
Potty humor was part of it from Peter's end, making like noises. But no, I'm talking about literally being tooted on by Highland. No! I had him in my arms, and I felt wind. I felt something in my arm, and I just look at him, and he just burst out laughing, just with like a cackle from the gut, like it was the most hilarious thing that could possibly happen. And then he ran over to his mom after and said something along the lines of, "I tooted on my TV, Dad."
I love it.
We send each other videos back and forth as little, like, I guess that's the new age of pen pals or writing, just little video messages here and there. And one that he sent me after we finished filming was he said hello, and we a brief description of what was going on and what he's up to, and then his mom says, "Do you have anything to say to Chris?" And he goes, kind of goes shy for a second, and then gets mischievous and goes, "Sorry for tooting on you, bud." So that was right at the beginning. That broke the ice. He's such a great kid. He's so full of life, and he has a really infectious laugh, and just like a really honestly great energy. And I think both his parents have done a great job raising him. He's just so full of joy, and I've thoroughly enjoyed all of the time we get to spend together.
Yeah,
we just hang out. He loves it. I send him pictures of my my adventure mobile 4Runner, and he's always mad. And I send him videos of the dogs because he loves dogs. So Charlie and Bowie, I pass along digitally to him, and he's lovely. He's fun.
Oh, I'm in love. I mean, he's just a cute.
It doesn't take much right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
He's good at winning you over. because he's just such a bundle of cheer.
Well,
Yeah.
his
And
introduction, I think it was you and Aaron is like, "Hi, Hearties," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh my, I'm melted, melted."
Yeah,
Yeah, he is
immediately.
so cute, so cute.
Yeah. I think Martin melted a lot too. He really enjoys Highland.
Aw.
Mm.
Well, now he's had a grandchild too, so
Yes.
maybe that.
Yeah, he's very happy about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to seeing more scenes with Highland as the season goes on. I'm really excited for that.
I'm excited for you all to see more because he's awesome. He's a little scene stealer.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So Anna Carolina Bertani from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil wants to know what aspect of Lucas's personality is most like yours?
Well, I think Lucas cares deeply for other people and has a strong sense of family and moving through life in a way that he feels is morally correct. And I think that is similar with me as well. I have to follow my gut and do what I feel is right. And my friends are very important to me and my family is very important to me.
Mhm.
And so always being available in that way. And then on a less deep note, I think he's got a really keen eye for finely crafted things, and I do too.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
just
so
appreciate the fine details and craftsmanship, and I find beauty in that, and he does as well.
Yeah, that's super awesome. I love that. And we have another question, and this one comes from Sweden, from
Okay.
Helena Wenberg, and she says, the One Calls a Heart cast has stated that season 9 breaks the mold and goes places the show hasn't before. Can you give an example of that?
Yeah, I think we're seeing a lot of actual physical change, in the town. We've got some new locations, new people. I think there's always new people coming in and out of Hope Valley, so that's not necessarily breaking the norm, but moving into 1920 or there around, I can't remember if we were 1920 this year or 1919.
1919, I think.
19, so okay,
Yeah.
1919. So just approaching the roaring 20s and a lot more industrialization. There's the foundry that's being built. You see a lot more vehicles on the road. So I think the physical landscape of the show is changing and morphing and advancing along with technology at the time. So that's definitely something that we've never seen before because it didn't exist before. So that comes to mind. I'm trying to think if there's anything else crazy, but oftentimes I'll remember about 30 seconds after we finish this call.
Okay, so we'll try to give you an extra 30 seconds just in
Okay.
case.
Okay.
I'm sure more will occur to us too. Judy Chatham Weddle really loved the horseback race with Elizabeth last season. And it seems like there's always a race going on with you. There's the foot race we had with Elizabeth, and we know that coming up in this season, we're going to have a motorcycle taking on a horse. But John Tinker says you've got some game when it comes to the horseback riding. So we want to hear about how that developed and how you're enjoying all this racing.
That's really nice. That's kind of him to say. I thoroughly enjoy it. I love horses. I love animals, and horses are stunning to me. They're just so powerful and smart and intuitive and scary.
Big and scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not. Yeah, I think it's so great that we've got the amount of horses that we do on location there. I think there's typically about maybe 20 horses at a time that are being housed at Jamestown.
Mhm.
And Jamie, the horse wrangler, is just like the most solid person ever. He's an authentic cowboy. I feel like he could break his arm and be like, "Yeah, it's fine. It's all good."
I can see that.
Super tough, and I feel like a flimsy daisy next to him, but that's it. He's good. So hanging out with him and Carrie, who's another wrangler, and them kind of teaching me how to ride is such a perk, because I mean, I'm really honestly lucky to be able to go to work and just get horseback riding lessons rather than having to sign up and pay to go do it. It's part of my job. So that's been awesome. And moving through different horses as there's a big blonde colored horse. I think Lucas is riding him earlier in his season, and I don't want to give away any of their secrets, but I think oftentimes you see a new character and they tend to be on a beautiful blonde horse, because he's more like a pickup truck, which is how they describe him. So he's easier to ride. And I've worked myself up to like a speedy Honda Civic. I don't think I've gone any faster. I haven't been given any of the fancy, like any European cars yet. But the pickup, or the Civic is great. The one that I raced Aaron's character on, that was a big difference from the pickup truck. And I got to train quite a lot with Carrie in the pen and going out for rides. My legs were killing me. If any of you ride horses, you know that, especially if you haven't done it for a while. Like I don't know any time I work the muscles on the inside of my thigh other than when I'm hugging a horse. I didn't even know they existed.
No, it's totally different muscles. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
But it's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, I would think that you had it in your resume. You're so apt for it. I mean, it's good.
Thanks. I mean, I'm sure folks that ride horses they could scrutinize what I'm doing and say,
I'm sure.
He's wrong. But I think as a general idea, I feel like I did okay. Selling
that was a great sequence.
Yeah. I wish I got to ride the horse in the second race, but that's Nathan.
That's true.
How much of the foot race was filmed? Do we know who won between you and Elizabeth? She's always cheating. She's just always cheating.
I want to say we went like all the way past the water towers, and they only used the first like 6 steps.
Yeah.
It was that race.
Cutting room floor.
Yeah, on the cutting room floor, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But you got the idea. They're like, they understand. They get the
we got it. We totally got it. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
all right.
We committed and definitely worked hard on that run, just so you know.
Is that right?
Yeah.
There was some sweat worked up. It was a good workout.
Yeah, during a heat wave, and I don't know if it was a heat wave, but in my recollection of filming it, I feel like definitely
it was a hot day.
And wearing a 3-piece wool suit. So yeah, it was very sweaty.
Yeah, right. And Aaron and the corset and a long skirt. That's a lot. Yeah.
Skirts are really heavy and thick too. They're not.
Right. No, there's a lot of layers there too. Yeah. Good times. All right. So Teresa Toy from Arkansas says, I think what all of us are thinking, that this awkward Nukas Nathan dynamic this season is just like comedic gold. It's so much, we're having so much fun with it. It's a blast. Have you gotten to play a lot of comedic material before? And tell us about what you've learned in season 9 with these comic bits.
Well, I'm learning that you find them to be comedic, because I don't think I knew that at the time.
Oh my gosh, really? We are howling.
You're talking about the ice cream and stuff and the
ice cream.
Yeah.
It's just like
the little spoon, as opposed, the contrast of him eating like a little mouse and you just, kind of.
He was just like a boy. I mean, like,
yeah. And then he kept saying, 2 scoops this time. And Lucas was like, okay.
I had a teacher who used to stress upon us that the secret to comedy is stakes, or like what makes comedy funny is how serious a situation can be, and then the circumstances can make that hilarious. So I didn't go into that thinking it was funny, but now that you mention it, like, he really was enjoying that ice cream thoroughly. So like the emotion is real with him eating it, which then would come off as funny. But yeah, I didn't realize at the time that would be a hit in that way. But I'm glad it is. I don't have a lot of experience in comedy. I don't consider myself naturally funny the way some people can just, their wit and intuition and their timing is bang on. I enjoy when something is written for me, and then I don't have to worry
Yeah.
about any of that, and I can just.
Well, it's just so awkward. I mean, that, and
Yeah.
when you're seeing it and witnessing it, it's like, ew, what's going on? Yeah. So
See, I didn't get that in the day. I was looking at him, I was like, he's just enjoying that ice cream. I'm gonna get him some more.
Yeah, no, it's
Right.
multiple scenes of that, just sitting in that place with that awkwardness.
Sure.
And you're a little bit of the straight man to the joke, but nevertheless, it's the contrast of all of that that's totally working, and we're
Yeah.
enjoying it.
Well, I'm glad. I like working with Kevin. And up until this point, I don't think we've had the opportunity to play in that way, because it's always been about the competition with Elizabeth.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so now this opens a door for a whole new dynamic between the two. And I had a great time.
Is a bromance in the future? I mean, are we going to see these guys, this banter is going to give way to some kind of friendship, I would assume?
I think I'm trying to remember how we ended. Not that I would give it away if I could, but I have this. I honestly can't remember, and I know I say this, I feel like every interview. I can't remember what we did until I get sent the link and I rewatch the episode, and then and then it all comes back, and then I remember everything from what happened that day, and just outside of the scenes themselves. But it's strange, it just disappears. It gets tucked away in some filing cabinet in my brain. So up until the ice cream point, yeah, I can see bromance, but I don't recall where they go. We'll just have to find out together.
We'll find out. Yeah.
Yeah, there's certainly room. And I do remember John explaining to me the sort of vibe being that they are moving towards a brotherly relationship where you don't always get along, and you often push each other's buttons and rub each other the wrong way, but at the end of the day, you'll bend over backwards for that
Right.
person. So I think that's where they're going. I just don't remember the specifics of our journey along the way.
Yeah.
Episode 2.
So maybe it's not around comedy, but is there one takeaway in terms of something you learned in season 9, something that contributed to your development?
As for Lucas, or you mean?
Well, as an actor, as a person,
I'm
as
always
Lucas.
always learning, for sure, every day. I learn a lot from the people that I work with, and learn how they operate. Also learning to trust yourself more and follow your instincts fully, and you can always be add more specificity and nuance. So I do try and grow, definitely. I like learning from Martin and from Gavin. They're both very spontaneous and lively, and things could go any direction at any moment. And that's something that resonates with me, and I'd like to move towards that, or be more like that at some point. But they've been doing this longer than I have, so I feel like I've excused myself for not being there yet.
Well, absolutely. Well, be a sponge. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You have that kind of experience. I mean, that's great.
Mm-hmm. I just completed my 4th year at what calls the Heart College. Somebody didn't go to university. I know that's not true. I'm a dropout. I did 1 year at a local college. But so this, to me, when I got One Calls Out, I remember thinking, like, I wonder if this could kind of be like the education that I never got in terms of a full-time.
Sure.
And yeah, just finished 4th year. So I graduated. It felt great.
I was going to say, you're good.
And I want to come back for one more bonus round, or as many bonus rounds as I just look at it.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
still waiting on word or not whether we'll get to play again, but I hope we get to go back to school. It does feel like going back to school with everybody.
Yeah. Well, even John Tinker talked about that, after the break and summer, and then all of a sudden you're in school again, and you see what your friends look like, and well, that was the whole thing for the beards too. So that was another thing for this year.
Can you give me an honest answer from each of you of your opinion on Kevin's mustache?
Do you really want me?
I do. I want to.
So I think it is
comedic gold.
It's comedic gold. I think it is not his best look, but I think it is so funny and it's playing to that humor so
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So, and I really like, I think a breakup haircut or a breakup facial hair or whatever. I mean, I think that's funny, you know. I think if he thought that that's where his character should go, I love that they gave him the latitude to do
But
it.
I'm really looking forward to the episode that you know.
Chelsea, are we wrong? What do you think?
Well, Mark, I understand your point. Like, I do get it, but I'm with Dawn on this one.
You want it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, I'm sitting here alone. I love his mustache. I
Really?
think it's
Oh,
great.
I'm so sorry.
He before work, he's like, before we started, he's like, yeah, he had a cut and he's like, I'm gonna see if I can get away with it. I'm like, for sure, you should. It's awesome. It looks so good. And he's like, I gotta look it too. And then they let him keep it at the beginning, and it was great. I believe it takes off at some point this season. But
Well, there was I think a
Great
cartoon. What was the cartoon? Do Right.
Dude,
Dudley Do Right.
Dudley Do Right.
Yeah,
Dudley Do Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, to me, it was a cartoon character. I mean,
And wasn't it a
my
Mountie
word.
in Dudley Do Right? Was it a Mountie in Dudley Do Right?
Yes, it was.
It is. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was my first, inclination.
It does. It is a flashback to that.
Yeah. Sorry.
Dudley.
Yeah, you got to Google it,
Okay.
Chris, because it is before your time. But yes.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a stash.
Yeah.
Oh, then
But
what
if he did,
wrong? I don't know. I think we're thinking of Snively or the villain. I think
maybe.
it's the villain in Dudley Do Right, maybe, that has he has the
Yeah.
pencil,
He has the
right? So
All right. Well, Kevin, if you watch this, I support your mustache.
We support him. We support him. We just don't know. I'm not really on board with
A fan of it.
Yeah. Well, John Teaker was asking us about Hrafgar's beard.
his
and
beard.
I didn't even know that it was there. I mean, I didn't realize that he grew it. I mean, well, what am I doing? I'm seeing how many seasons, and I don't recognize that a character has a beard. I don't know.
Well, if I may, I think that's because there was a decision somewhere along the line, I don't know where, to color Hrothgar's beard, because Hrothgar actually has this really phenomenal like silver and brown and black situation going on, and it looks majestic.
Oh, Silver Fox.
Wow.
But I think they thought, does that make Ned look old, like too old in relation to what am I thinking, Loretta?
Florence.
Florence,
Yeah.
so they toned it down, and now it's sort of like it sort of blends in with his skin tone, I think, on the.
It's.
Yeah, it does.
I think he
This is
looks
why I didn't
so
really
handsome.
Okay, so you guys support Hrothgar's.
Yeah,
beard.
no,
Yeah.
and I'm not a facial hair person, but I think it looks so good. I
He
love
looks
it.
great.
It looks very
Yeah.
distinguished, especially
Very.
before it's colored. Looks so good.
No. Well, maybe we'll see it next season. We
Tangents.
love scenes that you're in with Aaron, and we love scenes with Martin Cummins, Gowan. So first of all, the whole Gowan Lucas relationship is really interesting for me, but I like the arc that Gowan is going right now. I mean, it's really good, really good. But so though, as scene partners, can you contrast for us about how it's working with those scene partners? So what the first thing that comes to mind, but as you're working with them, and how are they different?
I don't think I've ever heard Aaron ask for a line to be called, and Martin, every second part of dialogue is, God, what is it? Yeah, give it to me. Give it to me. All right, here it comes. Here it comes. God, what is it? Oh, yeah, okay.
So here's the sponge. There you go.
Aaron does a lot of work beforehand, and like I think a lot of intellectual work,
Hmm.
She explores things in her mind before we get there, and she also has a really neat way of breaking down every scene and tracking every storyline that she has with each character, sort of in like I don't want to say a mathematical way, because it's not, but like it's on paper and it's visual and it's oh,
Hi.
Charlie, hello.
Doggies.
Mine
Coming
are,
to the front door. And not to say that Martin doesn't prep, because he does, just in his own way. And I actually haven't had a conversation with him about what that is in detail, the way that Aaron and I have talked about it. But he's been working for a long time, and I'm confident that he has his method. But when he's at work, when he's working in a scene, he's so kind of like, he loses himself and gets so lost in his character that I think at times the next, like the path forward slips away, and he has to call for a line. But he's like a wild person. His eyes, like, it's really inspiring to watch. And I remember reading a book that said, if there's a cat on stage, like if you're watching a play and there's a cat there, no one will pay attention to the actors. They'll be watching the cat. They'll just be instinctively fixated on that, because it's an animal, and it could do anything at any time. You have no idea what the cat's going to do. And Martin's kind of like a cat for me. And
oh, interesting.
he's great to work with, because you just never know what you're going to get. And it means every take is a little bit is different in shifts. And then in the editing room, they can choose which avenue they want to go. And again, not to say that, oh, Erin's not like that. Erin's not spontaneous in the moment. She totally is. But I think Martin just sort of has an instinctual wildness to him, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I'm sure you see it in Gowan, because Gowan's a little wild.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Gowan. I mean,
You.
throughout the whole we're now season 9. I mean, his character has been, in and out of trouble. But this season, I mean, there's so many things that are so intriguing. So
Mhm.
I'm curious, so what are you thinking about, like, Lucas to Gowan? What kind of the relationship do they, not inside that it's not overt, we don't even see it. What is that? Is it a friendship? If it's like a father figure, do you have, a concept with that?
Yeah, I think it's more to the friendship side than a father figure situation. Maybe more along the lines of an uncle.
Oh, okay.
That registers more with me. And I think Lucas has a lot of respect for Gowan, but knows that he's willing to kind of do things that Lucas might not, or go to lengths that Lucas might not. So there's always a little bit of caution. But at this point in season 4, I think we've gotten to a place where they've kind of moved past that, and it's resting. Yeah, an uncle nephew vibe.
Yeah.
That's also how I kind of feel with Martin in real life.
Yeah.
You're really gonna love this season, I think, because I do say that I don't remember stuff. There is one thing I do remember, and it happens to be how Martin's storyline finishes, and the kind of thread that it needs. Yeah, that's not the right term. The thread that it sews. I don't know. Anyways, it's great. It's fantastic. It's one of my favorite storylines.
Yeah.
This year. So
yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in.
Looking forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So before you get to that, I know Hearties are just going to want you to talk a little bit more about Aaron and Elizabeth and this blossoming relationship, and sort of what is your, I don't know, did you have a favorite moment or a favorite takeaway from this season in terms of your developing love with Elizabeth?
The Hearties want me to get down to brass tacks.
Well,
I don't know if you all saw that interview.
Yeah,
we did, of course.
absolutely.
I said that, and after I'm like, what? As I'm continuing to talk, I'm like, why did I say that?
Don't you love that your castmates just like doubled down on you too?
I am glad
like,
they did that. Yeah.
Yeah, they just doubled right down on you.
There's a lot of great nuggets this season, and especially tied in with Highland, like the three of them.
Because Jack passed and we didn't see the relationship of the family. All of this is really new ground.
Mhm.
And it is really cool to see that relationship as a family developing. So
Absolutely. They almost are like kids together, like young love. There's that sort of youthful giddiness and excitement.
Mm.
And like the racing, when you see them running off together, they do bring out each other's inner child, and which is really great. And I think it gives Elizabeth's character permission to be open and vulnerable and open to the concept of romance again. So
Yeah.
that's where we have those moments, and then also working with Highland and seeing how the three of them bond together is very special and tender, and equally as important, if not more important. And there's so much of that. And I'm looking forward to the Hearties being able to enjoy that, because I do feel like we had a lot less of it with navigating our way through COVID and a lot of uncertainty. And so anyway, now we have a better idea of what was going on. We were able to flush that out more.
lovely. Thank you.
Yeah.
There you go.
And
All right, well,
you asked favorite scene too, didn't you? Or favorite moment?
yeah.
If you'd like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see, a favorite moment. But I did actually, I think I said in that ET interview that there's a favorite moment that involves the three of them. I think that still is my favorite. I was going to come up with another one, but no, that takes the cake, and you'll see it at some point. But Highland and Little Jack and Lucas develop a sort of kinship and a strong bond, and they're kind of like thick as thieves together. And Highland helps Lucas out with a little prank, or like,
Oh boy.
this is a fun thing. It involves
So
knowledge too. So
was-
that's my favorite part.
So was Buddy in the script, or is that your vernacular?
Buddy comes from Peter DeLuise, and I'm
Oh,
sure if he sees this, he'll correct me or let you guys know if I'm wrong. But he told me the story, if I remember right. It's a term that he used with his grandfather, I believe.
Oh, really?
very
And
sweet.
so, yeah, that's something that came from him and is close to him and nostalgic, and
Oh.
worked really great with Highland because he loves that word.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
buddy.
Buddy. Hi, Buddy. Oh, I'm so in love with him. He's so cute. Maura McCallum, one of our admins for the German Facebook group.
Oh,
Her question is, do you have any secret talent?
do I have a secret talent? Well, I used to be able to walk around on my hands for extended periods of time.
Truly.
Mm.
Truly.
Truly, yeah.
Why
like,
would you do that?
Why not?
Well, that's true.
No, I used to train, and I used to teach Taekwondo actually, and I also
Right.
was just wanted to do a whole bunch of sports, and one of the sports was gymnastics, even though I'm
Oh,
6'1",
cool.
and everyone else was like, I do not have the body gymnastics. I'm way too long and lanky and skinny for that sport, but I wanted to give it a try. So a lot of handstands going on in gymnastics, and then also I used to just walk around the dojo on my hands. I could do laps all the way around the mat, like in a square.
Really?
It's a great core exercise and helps you balance, and
Sure.
it's something that I found weirdly easy and was a fun party trick.
This has been really great, Chris. Thank you so much for your time and your graciousness. And so the ratings, I think we're good. I mean, but I hope it demonstrates that how loved and admired that you are. And so with the Hearties community, we were just so thankful that we had the opportunity to talk with you today. So
Oh, no
thank you.
problem. I'm always amazed when I hear something like the ratings, or when I get to chat with people like this one-on-one, because there's sort of a separation that happens for me, and that I go to work with my coworkers, and we start in the morning, and we have a lunch break like everyone else does, and then finish the day and go home. And the only people that are there are just the cast and crew. as opposed to a live audience when you're doing a play and you get an immediate reaction and you're conscious of the fact that people are present, people are watching it. So there's this intimacy that happens at work where it just seems like this private business that you're doing, and you forget, or at least I do, on the day that people are going to actually watch this later. And then it comes out and you hear about 2.3 million people watching it or something crazy. I can't even imagine how many people. It sort of is above it's just a lot of people.
Well, I was talking to, I don't remember if it was Brian or John, someone was talking about, they've done a study that we have 2.1 million self-identifying Hearties globally. So
Wow.
yeah, so they're doing market research and things like that. So that is something that really, when we talk about the Hearties community, that is what I just, I love. That's the reason why I'm with these gals, and I just really appreciate the whole community. But yeah, I'm just so glad that you're with us.
I'm happy to be here. This job has kind of two parts to it. The one is that I authentically love what I do, and I love being there on the day, and it doesn't feel like work to me because it's always been in my mind how I wanted to spend my time, and the fact that I'm able to do it and also afford life that way is really lucky. And then there's the second part of it, that is when you hear about people creating a community around a project that you've done, or people that watch a show and it gets them through a hard time, or it brings them authentic joy in their life, is like this massive bonus perk to this job that again, I don't always think about until something comes out, or somebody reaches out, or you read something.
Well, yeah, I mean,
so great.
Yeah, we have so many stories, but for me, I had a stroke about 5 years ago. Okay. And the Hearties community was the one that supported me throughout it. So, this is just one example. Chelsea has a lot of other examples as well for the hurricane in Puerto Rico. So there's just so many things. Yeah, so many things. So, all right. Well, thank you so much.
Hold on. Just Chelsea was in Puerto Rico during the hurricane, and Hearties came together and.
Yeah, they helped me. They would send me like batteries and just
lanterns,
canned foods, lanterns,
food,
just everything. And it was like, wow, like how the community came together to help me, and how I was able also to help others with that as well. It was like amazing. So yeah, I'm really grateful for this community, and it's really special for sure.
That is very special. I can't say that a lot of TV shows fans would do that for one another, or even have a sense of community or communication at all. So
well, and Dawn used to be a corporate trainer and speaking to thousands of people, and after her stroke, this has been an opportunity for her to speak to the public again. So we're just having kind of a good feeling all around. And this is really what your talent and your gifts are engendering, is this neat friendship and community among the Hearties. So we can't say enough.
And I thoroughly hope we get a 10 for you all.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
We hope.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. And okay, so Hearties, thank you for joining us. And don't forget to tune in this Sunday on the Hallmark Channel for a new episode of One Calls a Heart. I'm so excited. And also join us on Twitter using the hashtag Hearties to help us trend. That's really important. And this has been Heart to Heart. So see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.